the United Nations in the 21st century has been a major disappointment. It was founded in the middle of the 20th century as to offer a new world order based on peace and security and protection of human rights. It was built the human rights system on the ashes of the Jewish people, and it has inverted right and wrong so that Israel becomes the villain and the victims become those who are some of the most intolerant people in the region. So I think a recalibration both of democratic interests and funding for the World Organization is in order, and rethinking of the human rights establishment under the bailiwick of the United Nations. I think there's some belief, mistaken belief, on the part of democracies that the UN is some kind of harmless talking shop. It's always better to talk, and that for some reason that the kind of anti-Semitic, anti-Zionist, anti-Americanism that goes on at the United Nations won't have its effect. But it does. 2 weeks ago, for example, there was the major committee that's been tasked over a decade ago with drafting a comprehensive convention on terrorism for the first time in history, ended once again, as it has done year after year, in disarray because they can't agree to define terrorism. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation believes that there should be an exception clause for so-called legitimate struggle. So here we are, post 9/11, post World War II, suicide bombing and the litany of terrorist attacks launched by the government of Iran, and the world body cannot define terrorism, doesn't know what it is. So in the last few days, in fact, the UN so-called special rapporteur, that's the special investigator on Israel, who has been appointed by the UN Human Rights Council, justified the Boston terror attacks as a consequence of American domination, the American domination project. So it isn't harmless talking. When people can't get first principles right, don't understand the difference between right and wrong, it encourages terrorism to the detriment of both Israel and also to the United States.